THC-A is in the news today, you guys. That's right. Tennessee cannabis products industry worry. That's right. In Tennessee, could new regulations stop sales in the state, they ask? Mike Solomon of Tennessee's leading sellers of legal cannabis believes the state is engaging in regulatory bait and switch. On one hand, the new law went into effect last year regulating the sale of hemp-derived products to those 21 and older, seemingly cementing into place what had already become a growing Tennessee-based industry of legalized non-marijuana cannabis. After all, such products have been legally nationally since 2018. On the other, the state's Department of Agriculture, which is drafting specific rules for the new law, is considering restrictions on a chemical certain hemp products, THCA, tetrahydrocannabinolic acid. THCA is legal, but minus the effects of traditional marijuana high when it's burned or turned into certain edible products, in quotes. It's not making these products illegal. It's just going to make these products illegal to sell in Tennessee. That's great. These products are some of the most sought-after products that people want for many different reasons, they say. And no such restriction on THCA was written into the law itself, so many hemp product supporters feel betrayed by the state and believe it could ruin the growing industry. Meanwhile, these products are still federally legal, thus obtainable through the mail. In Maryville, Tennessee, Lori Nanley, the owner of Tokers Incorporated, is worried about the future of her business. In a quote, she says, THCA is 85% of all retail sales, Nanny said. She says, it's going to eliminate most consumables, all smokables, all cartridges, all dabs, a concentrated form of cannabis commonly smoked or vaped, and all flower, the leafy form of cannabis, and it's going to eliminate most edibles. And another quote, this is going to destroy the entire industry. These people in the business are not going to have homes in a few months if this goes this way. On Thursday, the Department of Agriculture held a hearing to receive opinions from the public on the proposed rule changes. As of this week, it received more than 2,000 written public comments, and scores turned out to mostly criticize the inclusion of THCA in the new rules. Some said they'd turn to the black market to travel out of state for marijuana if that happened. Others who operate legal cannabis businesses said they'll be forced to shut down. Others complained of government overreach. I noticed no one saying screw them and they're just going to stay open anyway, but nonetheless, I guess there's no real patriots out there. Kim Doddridge, the spokesperson for the department, did not respond directly to such claims. She said only after this, what I will call a listening session, we're going to take those comments and what changes need to be made to the proposed rules. And so you may want to ask isn't marijuana legal in Tennessee? Yes, it is legal to possess or sell marijuana for adult use and nearly all medical reasons in Tennessee. However, state law allows for some exceptions for low THC, high THC CBD oils for use by people with certain health conditions. Otherwise, penalties start at up to 1 year in jail and a $250 fine the first time offense for possessing up to a half ounce of marijuana. However, in 2018, the U.S. Congress removed hemp and hemp products from the Drug Enforcement Administration's Controlled Substances Act, opening the door for products that approximate the effects of marijuana, such as THCA and Delta-8 products. Some states have outlawed them, and this has not happened in Tennessee. But there's some hazy legal distinction, you guys, because the confusing set of state and federal laws governing cannabis is driving much of this current controversy. At issue is the inclusion of the current legal THCA in the definition of the currently legal THC in rules governing legal hemp products in Tennessee. THC provides the psychoactive effect that marijuana is known for, and THCA doesn't unless it's exposed to heat, a process known as decarboxylation, or better yet, lighting up. THCA plant flowers are also grown in such a way that they are considered hemp and don't run afoul of federal law. They're grown in such a way, these guys are crazy. They're grown in a way It's a hazy legal distinction, but of this Tennessee hemp products industry, insiders say THCA products constitute the vast majority of the market here. They also note that banning their sale here won't stop their use, and they're legal federally and thus available to buy online. State law also does not prohibit their use or possession, and the Department of Agriculture will review all comments received by February 9th and work to develop final rules. They then will be sent to the State Attorney General's office for review and forward to the Secretary of State's office. They will be effective 90 days after that, and there are no further public hearings planned for that matter. Ultimately, the new rules must be in place by July 1st, you guys, right in time for the 4th of July. That's right, and this is Jason Beck for the High at 9 News. What do y'all have to say about this? THCA in Tennessee.
THC, yay!
I mean,
I love this because I feel like this is like a revolution, like like everyone's revolting. Like, we don't care what the feds say. We don't care from state to state. THCA, I love the joke. I love that someone came up with this loophole. I love that it's happening out there in the world. And the feds just need to give up and succumb to the fact that we're not ever going to stop, ever.
But what about all these people that have all these businesses? None of them are saying, screw you guys, we're going to stay open and da-da-da-da-da, and you guys already let the cat out of the bag. They're saying that you're going to force us to close our businesses and we're going to become homeless.
Well, so I just want to be clear, because I read the article, and I am 2 cups of coffee in.
Yeah.
We are talking about hemp-derived cannabinoids.
We're talking about THCA.
We're talking about hemp-derived cannabinoids in a state that doesn't have a robust medical and adult use cannabis program.
That part's true.
For accessing cannabinoids. And so I think what we're seeing here is, first of all, I believe that the greatest threat to a functional, regulated cannabis program in any state is the underregulated hemp industry. And I believe that we have a ticking time bomb, and I've said it here before, and I'll say it here again. I believe we have a ticking time bomb that some person under 18 is going to access some type of hemp-based edible in one of these states that doesn't have adult use cannabis. Something terrible is going to happen, and when that person gets injured or injures somebody else, or a whole gas station explodes, the government's going to come in and they're going to overregulate what has currently been underregulated. And so I think we need to sort of strip away this paradigm of cannabis versus hemp. One has a fence, one doesn't, to quote Joanna Cedar, somebody who's brilliant when it comes to hemp policy. And we need to start regulating cannabinoids based on whether they're psychotropic or not. And so my concern is these people are crying foul with the state. And I'm not one for burdensome government regulation, but there is a real problem here that does need to be addressed. And if the industry, and I would say both the cannabis and hemp side of that, broader umbrella industry, if I was going to use a single term, if the industry doesn't start to regulate itself and decide how it de-risks what it puts into the market, then the government is going to have no choice but to come in and overregulate. And if the federal government isn't regulating to a degree that's in step with the science and what's happening, aka 2018 was 5 years ago or more, and word on the street is that they're not even going to do anything with this in 2024, and that's probably going to get kicked into 2025, then what is the state supposed to do, right? Like, so we're complaining about the state coming in to do something, but show me an industry that's self-regulating. Show me an industry that is tacking towards the bell curve, de-risking, transparency in what's in the products, supply chain assurance, age restriction on products. And so if the industry doesn't do it, something bad is going to happen, and then government's going to overregulate, or states are going to have to come in and fill the gap.
I mean,
or the trap.
The trap is going to...
Well,
that's the trap's role, Yarrow.
That's the first... That's the first state where we are going to offer Trap University, and
that's the election slogan.
Yes,
right?
we're gonna open it up right in. We're gonna open up Trappers University right in Memphis, and we're gonna have a young Dolph Hall right there in Memphis at Trappers University.
Hey, rest in peace and big love to Dolph, man, young Dolph. And
Yeah.
But I think too much agreement kills a good conversation. And while I appreciate Mandy's sort of, middle finger to the feds and whatnot, to me, this isn't a place where these people are advocating for cannabis access for cancer patients. It's not a Wisconsin. It's not a place where I'm worried about grandma being able to get medical cannabis. This is people who are selling something for most likely adult use. So people have an alternative in terms of how they enjoy themselves. And so I'm a little less passionate about that part than I would if this was.
Why? Why can you not be passionate for your human rights? Like, you get to choose
economics, man.
yourself. And yeah, let's not even forget about that part. That part, I wasn't even going to go down that path, but thank you. Like, really, there's a lot to be said about just being allowed to do what you want. And let's not forget, this plant hasn't killed anybody.
Hold on. Hold on. The plant has killed one person. It was a True Leave employee.
Actually, my story today is going to talk about the ancillary fatalities that do occur as a result of this industry, or as a result of underregulation, or as a result of not having the safety and security this industry deserves to have. So we need to get rid of that talking point, because it is actually not accurate. And furthermore, if we go back to Vapegate, we understand that we are the first generation in the history of humanity that has actually made cannabis fatal. And we did that by putting unsafe products on a plant and then concentrating that down and putting it into cartridges and not having medical device standards when it comes to hardware.
I don't think that was our fault, Yarrow. I don't think that was our fault, but
I'm not saying whose fault it is. I'm just saying it is no longer accurate to say that cannabis is no longer has ever killed anybody.
Well, no, I think the only case you can say that for
around cannabis, where a lot of people have been killed. A lot of people
kill people.
The plant itself has not.
Never. Yep.
Right, but that's like saying a bullet has never killed anybody because somebody else had to pull the trigger.
Yarrow. People kill people.
That's true. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. That's true, Yarrow.